we sung it all today. Uncertain of our futures. Na, 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 na. Would you look at us? We're all grown up and certain of our futures. Little just thought of the idea of calling it the beginning of the end. City song. Sing shiny city songs as we're walking the independent at last. I don't know about this one.
A foreshadowing.
But whatever, it's being written. Must grab the trusty journal. What's that? My songwriting journal. It's just my songwriting journal. To sing independent at last. I'm getting an urge to double the meaning for last. At last. Why does at last mean that? With shiny city songs to sing independent at last. We're drinking alcohol. I don't know anything about alcohol. Our cousin bought Why is it so hard? One of the best things that I have to learn to do as a songwriter is to just keep going, because I will get caught on making every single line perfect and have meaning, and that's how songs should be. But at the same time, while you're writing, if you get caught up on one line, it's gonna screw you over, because then you're just not gonna finish the song, and I already have a chorus idea somewhat. Sleep into... What if I did like a sort of half and half? I have this general verse structure that I've got here. That's like, to me, that's one verse right here. And then maybe for the second verse, that's gonna come before the chorus. Na 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 na, or something that kind of doubles as a pre-chorus. Then we can just get right into the chorus, because once you have like a long verse structure, time-wise, it's kind of a lot. I'm sorry, I can't, like, my words can't keep up with my thoughts. Drinking alcohol, our cousin bought, and sleeping till we're sober. And it's all fresh and new. It's all new and fresh. And it's all new and fresh. And permanent. It's the beginning of the end or something like that. Like, should I do like a... I'm going for like kind of like a poppy feel, because I realize I haven't written a song like Mother's Advice in a really long time. It's all new and fresh and permanent. Ha! It's the... Oh gosh, have a plan before you sing. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the and it's all new and fresh and permanent. Ha! It's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. The end. Na, 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 the end. Na, 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 na. The and it's all no, I get if we both make it. It's the beginning, as good as it gets. It's the beginning, as good as it gets. Oh, it's the beginning of the end. I totally could have stopped there and just used that chorus, but I didn't. Anyone want to tell me why? I don't freaking know. We're like 2 more choruses. It's the beginning of the end. Spend your last teenage years I have an urge to make a thick chorus. But I know if I have a thick chorus, I can't have a thick bridge, and I love my thick bridges. It's all downhill from here. That's literally mother's advice. Da-na-na-na. I'm going back on my mother's advice. It's because I use the same chords, okay? My bad. Here it's the beginning. Okay, I'm conflicted because the chorus, a part of me wants to like be weird and have not very much like melodic structure, not much repetition. Also, a part of me feels like I should just stick to one melody and be like, it's the beginning of the end. It's the na-na-na-na, you know, and just kind of building off of that. Somebody tell me how to write a song. I have to leave in legit 20 minutes because I'm going to a birthday lunch. I'm in no way enthusiastic about what I'm creating right now, but sometimes it's important to have that quantity over quality just to keep you writing. Hey, so I'm editing and I'm like, what? It's actually not that bad, and it just goes to show that you gotta keep going with these ideas when you have them. Keep going, writers! Because seriously, if I would have just even listened back to a recording that I did, I would have been able to see, oh, you know what, this chorus idea was actually way better than this chorus idea, but I didn't. So listen to what you've written. Listen to yourself. These are the lessons I'm learning. I'm not like a songwriting teacher or anything, but this is just what I've learned through my mistakes as a songwriter, because the end product of this, well, you'll see. It's disappointing because I don't want to disappoint you. So I'll just say that right now. But let us keep going to see what we can learn. That's the whole point. Try again. It's the beginning of the end. This is a book I've never read. Wouldn't my time be more well spent playing and keeping my head, planning ahead instead of living it up in the moment. I hate just being so explicit like that, like just like saying living in the moment. That's just what people say all the time. It's not creative, but I'm gonna write it down. I'm juvenescent and alive. Going back to that, it's the beginning of the end melody, so there's some structure there. I'm juvenescent and alive, but I'm just barely getting by. This is a thick chorus. Juvenescent and alive, and I'm just barely getting by. I love rhymes. They're so good. They just make the words hit so much harder. Soon I'll be bored. Soon I'll turn gray and have no friends. It's the beginning of the end. I must leave now because I'm going to Ellie's party. Hey Ellie! I'm gonna continue this later. I've spent probably like a little less than an hour on it. Is it sad that I've only made that much progress? Yeah, but that's typically how it goes, to be honest, because I'm a perfectionist. That's why I do these videos. They make me unprofessional. Bye! Alright, 9 hours later, I'm going to pull up the voice memo, but I also am tired and want to go to bed. It's the beginning of the end. Okay, I can work with that. I like the melody. The chorus needs some wrinkles smoothing out as far as rhythm, but the verses I can work with, and I can definitely write another one of those. I think one of the most important things that anybody can do when they're going through life is to document it. I'm a huge fan of documentation. For me, right now, I have such a different perspective as the perspective I'm gonna have a year from now, because I've got the unknown to worry about, the uncertainty of what college will be like, the shiny new ambition to make a success of myself in my life, whatever that means. I have the confusion as to what that even is, and this is a unique perspective that I'm never gonna get back in my life. And I just think that while we have these perspectives, we should use them. When I'm 40 and I have kids, I'm gonna be like, what is happening in their minds? But right now I know what's happening in my mind. It's like a time capsule, and that's why when I write like high school songs, like songs about prom and boys and parties, you know, it might seem juvenile, but at the same time it's a perspective. There is so much beauty in the time capsule that is writing. I don't know why I said it like that. So never be afraid to write, no matter what you're writing about. Don't be afraid of perception. Okay, let's get off this soapbox. I could take it to more like a personal level because it's been a very we song, like as a generation, but I could shrink it down to make it more personal, more intimate, and also, again, with the perspective thing, like you'd be surprised how many people relate to you. So let's try that. Would you look at me? I need words. Oh, would you look at me? Waiting knee deep in solemn expectation. I'm sorry, I'm burping so much. Sue me for burping tonight. If it's all, if the world's at my feet, what's that saying? Oh, having the world at your feet is actually a saying. I'm stealing it. This is hard. With the world at my feet, I'll be 6 feet deep. You'll be 6 feet deep. With the world at my feet, you'll be 6 feet deep. Thanking Jesus for it. I guess that's okay. That's alright. Thanking Jesus. It's important to thank Jesus. Now I've left myself no room to jump straight back to the chorus, so I must have a second verse, which means a short bridge. It's the give and take. When the empire falls, you blame it all on me. Okay, I haven't done this in a while, but I want to do it where the second verse kind of goes off the rails a little bit. So I'm just gonna word vomit and see what happens. And when I risk it all and the empire falls, I'll never be the same. Held at the cost of change. If anything, I'll break it again. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so tired. I just want to be done. No offense. I love the time we're having here. If anything, I'll break it again. If anything, it's the beginning. The beginning of the... I'm just gonna be... Howdy. Next day. And, trying to switch up the chorus. I really thought I was gonna be able to get this done in a singular sitting, but so that usually only happens when I'm like into the song. This is the chorus that I've got going. It's the beginning of the end. This is a book I've never read. I should be planning. This is not my best work, for sure. Here is Goose. As songwriters, we must band together. Okay, guys? We've got this. And you know what? I challenge you to next time you're writing a song that you are not into. I'm sorry, I'm gonna blur out the background. Next time you're writing a song that you're not really into, I challenge you to keep going with it. Even DM me on Instagram and be like, yo, I just wrote this song, it's trash. But I kept going for you. And I'll be like, oh, that's nice. I just don't answer Instagram DMs that much anymore. I'm gonna record a quick voice memo of the finished song. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Hey, here's a rough voice memo. Oh, would you look at us? We're all grown up and certain of our futures, with shiny city songs to sing, independent at last. We're drinking alcohol, our cousin bought sleeping until we're sober. It's all new and fresh and permanent. Ha! It's the beginning of the end. This is a book I've never read. Wouldn't my time be more well spent planning ahead instead of living it up in the moment? I'm juvenescent and alive, but I'm just barely getting by. Soon I'll be gray and losing friends. It's the beginning of the end. Oh, would you look at me, wading knee deep in solemn expectation, with the world at my feet? You'll be 6 deep and thanking Jesus for it. And when I risk it all and the empire falls, I'll never be the same, held at the cost of change. If anything, I'll break it again. If anything, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the end. This is a book I've never read. Wouldn't my time be more well spent planning ahead instead of living it up in the moment? I'm juvenescent and alive, but I'm just barely getting by. Soon I'll be gray and losing friends. It's the beginning of the end. Don't tell me that I'm older, that's the first chip on my shoulder. I don't wanna hear it. It's only getting closer and its grip is getting colder. The beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. This is a book I've never read. Wouldn't my time be more well spent planning ahead instead of living it up in the moment? I'm juvenescent and alive, but I'm just barely getting by. Soon I'll be gray and losing friends. It's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. Okay, I told you it was gonna be rough. I'm gonna explain really quick where I see flaws in my work. The first verse, which is gonna be right here, that for me, pretty good. It leads up to the idea of the song pretty well. It sets up perspective. This is fun and fresh and cute, I guess. Aha. Now that I listen back to the chorus, it's really not that bad, especially because I changed it back to the original. There are a couple of lines in here that I actually end up taking out. It's just unnecessary. These two chunks I would consider verse 2. My problem with it is it's very serious. The diction that I chose here, wading knee deep, suggests something very heavy and hard to tread through. Solemn expectation, again with the 6 feet deep, I mean that's like a death reference, so it's very heavy and I don't know if it necessarily fits the theme of the song. Mentions Jesus, I mean it's serious. Word choice, empire falls, as a metaphor for me making mistakes and messing things up. I don't know, it just might be massive imagery for no apparent reason, although I guess you could argue that when you're that young and you're making decisions, you think the world does revolve around you, so it is like the entire world is falling and the empire falls. Like the upbeatness and poppiness of the song, it just it's kind of misplaced. Held at the cost of change, like that's dramatic. And if anything, it's the beginning. That's just freaking filler. It's just filler because I wanted to be done with it. Bridge-wise, these two lines are referencing the end. Right there, it's only, and the grip is, it's the end's grip, and it is the end. So I kind of like that actually, but this over here, I like the rhythm of, I don't wanna hear it. But this line right here, like this whole line, it just totally does not make sense to me. It's not a very clear message, and so I definitely change it for a better version. But yeah, still editing Amy. Recognize me? Time to go back to that Amy. I do think the concept was there, and the beginning of the end is a good name for a song title. The execution did not pull through. Okay, goodbye. Can you tell I'm pooped? Okay, bye.
Our futures with shiny